Hello, Frank. How are you today?
I'm amazing. Thank you so much. It's amazing to be here in La Fontaine. Weather is good, but more importantly, we had an amazing start of the day with the Soli program.
Fantastic. So I have a question for you. You've been with the group for a long time and with Sogeti for a year. Give me a little bit about how the past year has been for you.
Interesting. Interesting because leaving the Capgemini part for Sogeti was something that I had not foreseen yet, although I worked in different places. And a lot of people asked, why are you going to go to Sogeti and what are you going to do over there? The fun part is, I think in the 28 years that I am with the group, I've never felt so much as home as I've done in the last year. People say there's a special culture within Sogeti. And I felt it. I felt it already the first month that I was in my job. We had the kickoff in Malta. And sometimes you have, like in the big events, that you know everybody and you have a good time, but you also sometimes feel a little bit alone. And in Malta, I was just like, hey, I feel part of a family, and I was only 1 month in the job. So that was a good start. It's a little bit of a roller coaster, but still enjoying every minute of it.
Fabulous. And coming to something that you said, one part of your job is to really keep the balance in the business. However, you still help in innovating moving parts. Yeah. How does that work?
So we need to make sure that the hygiene is in place, that we try to get the performance in from a financial perspective that we need to have. So we need to make the right bets on, what are the things that will help us change and growth towards the future. Good example, I think, is, for instance, the Gen AI amplifier. Okay. We took a decision as a group, made a huge investment in building a solution which now has turned out to be a great sales success, helps us in the positioning of ourselves as a group.
Nice. So you have written a book.
Yep.
You are a facilitator yourself for a leadership program. In your view, what does it take for someone to be successful in their career or in their growth?
Well, in the session that we had this morning, I think Marco van der Brink formulated it the best. Be yourself. But I also tell to people that's the most difficult thing that there is, because we are always growing, we are always evolving because of the experiences that we have, the life events that come on your path. And therefore you're always searching a little bit, okay, but who am I? Where are my talents? Where is my passion? Where do I want to grow? And I think in order to be successful, you first have to establish what is it. Then the second thing, and it's actually in this room where I once had a session facilitated where the coach afterwards came to me and he said, Frank, you have a unique talent. Don't conform yourself too much of what the organization wants you to do. And I didn't initially understand what it meant, so I asked him. He said, don't start acting on how you think you should act, but always act according to your own strength and your will, and then you will stay in your power. So identify who you are, where your passion is, what you want to achieve, and then stay very close to yourself in the execution on it. There is, however, a caveat to it, is you also need to understand that things sometimes need to take time, and there is always a bit politics involved in the organization. For me, the advice therefore to people is accept the fact that it's there, try to understand it, but don't play politics. But if you understand that there's politics, then at least you can deal with it. And then you can stay yourself, you're close to your passion. And what I've noticed in this organization in the last 28 years and the last year within Sogeti, when we feel that passion of people, when we see that people act upon that passion, we will always support you and cater for you.
Right. Nice. So coming to the program, you've been with us, since yesterday at the Solid for Tech program. As a sponsor to the program, what is it that you want to see as an end outcome?
As an end outcome, well, there's a group of people here that I already heard from them, their lives have transformed. And I think, and thank you very much for doing a brilliant job with that, they do it because they start to connect with themselves again, but not only from their head, but also with their heart. And I think that is particularly for the Sogeti organization, where we always said, a tech first, we are a tech part of the company. We also have a lot of people that therefore, think a lot, spend a lot of their time in their head rather than that they are completely in their body. I think the power of this program is, we connected again. We connect, you not only have brilliant minds, but the moment that you actually put your IQ in connection to your EQ, when you put your head in combination with your heart, that's where the big impact comes in. So I think that's already what you have achieved. What my hope for this team is that they help us now spread the word. We had a very good session this morning where we also explained, if you want to put change into the organization, it will not come from your leadership. You are the leadership that needs to drive that change.
Right.
And I think we gave some tools, some frameworks based on which they now really can go out and change it. And I really hope that it not only restricts to the people here, but they will actually go out and multiply this effect, and they will actually make the others part of their journey that they have gone through and give them the insights, as I gave my insight and Marco gave his insight on how did we came to the position that we had.
Yes.
But I'm quite convinced from the group that you have composed that this will happen.
Nice to hear. Do you have any questions for me?
I definitely have a question for you.
All right, so we move to that then.
Yeah, so Deepa, this program is now ongoing for 3 years.
3 years.
What has evolved in the program? What has changed and what have you learned?
So I go with what has evolved in the program. The way the program is designed is it's a modular program. So one of the evolutions we've realized is what worked in the first year may not have been the need of the hour in the second year. So a few skills, for example, we've added a number of leadership skills. We've replaced some of the sessions we were doing to do it differently because of the impact that we need to have. Now, this year, there's been 2 large evolutions in the program. In the first 2 years, we never used to give them a business challenge to solve or help us solve. This year, our participants are going to help us with 5 challenges that we've given them, which really define the strategy of our organization. So they're so close to us that we've brought them to become part of the strategic definition of who we are going to be in the next 3 years. So that's one change. And the second change that we've brought to them this year is when normally you come to a program and it's great to be there for 8 months and, connect. However, some of these behaviors need a daily thought process behind them. So we've introduced, a mechanism where every day they will get a question and they will answer it for themselves. Now, because they will interact with that question, it will bring back some of the skills that they've learned, but also some of the things that they promised that they would do or they thought they would do to actually make it happen. So we're trying to also bring those to make them happen.
Very good, because I do indeed believe, like we tell the people, your growth is actually an evolution, so that also needs to reflect back into the program. What has been in the last 3 years a moment that gave you the most pride of what happened in the program? Is there a thing that you can recall that you think, that gave me so much joy?
So one of the things that I thrive on is to see, the impact that we have on people. And every time we finish a program, when somebody comes and says, "Oh my God, Deepa, this is, this program has opened my eyes," or "I've decided to make this change or decision in my life because this is where I know I'm going to be best at," or I've brought an evolution in my own self because I've realized this is not who I was all these years. I was wearing a mask. That's what brings me joy. And I have one very, very good example of an introvert who in this campus spent a week with us and probably, exaggerating, but probably said 10 sentences. And when we met the same person in our India touch point, this person was driving so many things for us. They came back and, gave us a hug and, was so happy to see the group. And I took a step back and I said, what happened? And that's what brings me a lot of joy.
I can see it in your eyes. How do you see the Solid program in the total perspective of the Become Your Best challenge that we have?
For me, and you said this, right? One of the things that we are trying to achieve is to get all our employees to not just think from their heads, but to think from their hearts as well. So bring your full self to work. And Become Your Best is about the same thing. Bring your best self. So Sogeti has never defined a framework to say, this is what, if you showcase these behaviors, then you're the best. It can never be. We don't want a one size fits all. And so Become Your Best is our ambition to bring your best self, whatever that may be. And that's what we are trying to build with Solid. Just bring your whole self to work, which is your best self.
So basically the program, and I think that is very good for people that inspire it to realize this is not so much about how do you become a better technologist or how do you become a better consultant. I really think it's about how do we provoke that you unleash your full potential, your full talents, and then integrate it into the work that you can do with Sogeti.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. You already perhaps gave a little bit of a highlight, but is there one role model that you have seen in the last years that you think, oh, you know, that if I think about that person, it flourishes my heart. I know you have that for everybody, but you don't need to have names, but is there somebody that, you know, you recall and said, you know, this for me is a person that really took the benefit of the program?
I think in every batch that we've done, and we've done 2 so far, the third one, I've got at least 2 in each, in different countries, and how they've worked now, and how they've taken up, you know, so a challenge. So one of them, you know, was here, used to really enjoy what they did. And when they went back to their country, we have these connections. So straight after Solid, what we do is we actually go back to the management to show them what did we do over the last 8 months. And the participant themselves say, you know, what have I achieved and what do I want from the management? And there came a role change for this participant. And he's doing so well. He's doing so well where he is. And I keep hearing about, oh yeah, he's great at what he does. He's doing such a fantastic job. You had him all these years. Why hadn't you seen him? So it just gave him that energy, and it gave him, you know, he stepped up and he said, I'll take the challenge. Yeah. So yeah, there's a couple of them, and I'm very happy with that. There's a couple of them who even decided, I'm not in the right place. So some people have decided that they needed to be somewhere else, maybe not in the group, but even outside. But when you see and you connect with them socially, you just feel like they're doing so well. And that's what they realized, that I'm not my best self here, I'm going to be my best self somewhere else. Yeah. So it's, you know.
As long as we provoke the best self. Now, and I agree with you. I always hate programs when people say, yeah, okay, we go into the program, but we need to make sure that everybody takes it to the finish line. And it's like, you know, but if that is the case, you start already catering for mediocrity. And I think what we need to ask for our talents is, you know, step out of your mediocrity and, you know, unleash it. I always remember that in The Incredibles, the movie, there is the young guy, and then the mother says, yeah, but, you know, don't stand out so much, you know, because you have to blend in with the others. And then he said, yeah, but then you know, I'm going to be ordinary, but isn't everybody already ordinary? And I thought that was such a beautiful saying. And I think we want, with the Become Your Best part, to provoke, you know, become extraordinary. And the good thing is, and I really like that in the program, the extraordinary part is for everybody different. We had the session this morning with Marco and myself, and I think the message was a little bit the same, but we did it in completely different ways. And the group starts seeing it, because, you know, we don't want to be, you know, that everybody is the same. But the only thing that we want is unleash your potential.
Correct. Yeah. Thank you so much, Frank, for, you know, for being here with us. And I'm really inspired, not only by the passion that you bring with you, you know, over the last many years, but when I heard you speak this morning, it changed, it triggered a thought in me. And I'm going to end this discussion with saying that I love the way you inspire everyone. So thank you so much for being here with us and talking to us today.
Well, thank you, Deepa, for organizing this and actually making sure that we as an organization continuously remind ourselves we need to get the best of our people in order to be the best Sogeti, to be the best partner for our clients. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you.